I'm Brandy Lucas. So happy to have you here. Today I am diving in with good old tips, pro tips that is, for helping you to grow out your summer cut. If this is your first time joining me, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and also that little bell because I don't want you missing none of this good old short hair information that goes on around here. Let's get into it. If you've been about that summer sleek, sassy, shortcut life, winter's on the way. It's about to get cold. Now, you may be like me and rock this short life all year round, but if you're not, if you are a little bit concerned about them jazzy little parts and that side you shaved off over the summer because winter is coming, I got some tips for you. Fret not, my friends. I'm going to help you grow your hair back for the fall and winter months with a couple of good pro tips. Stay tuned. So tip number one is have an end goal in mind. So if you're rocking short hair and you have this epiphany that you want to grow your hair out, you got to know where you're trying to go. Nobody likes the in between. I'm looking like the library teacher. I like short hair, but I ain't had a haircut in a while look. You have to have an end goal. Even if you have a couple of stages that you want to see your hair grow into, it's going to work good for you as well as your stylist to know where you're moving toward. It'll give you an idea of what you're working toward. And then when you get there, you in there. You in there once you get there. But the journey can be a little discouraging when you're growing your hair out and you don't know what you're growing it into. So keep the end goal in mind. Break out that Pinterest board and find a couple of pictures of someone whose hair is close to the length that you cut your hair to, and then give yourself a couple of examples of how you would like your hair to grow out. Tip number two is don't hide your hair and then forget it's there. A lot of times people are like, okay, I'm over the short. I am about to wear a wig or I'm about to wear a weave. And sometimes y'all be forgetting that there's actually hair under there. I need you to make sure that you still participate in a regimen that is nurturing your hair. If you want the hair to grow, you cannot forget it's there. So, yeah, if you're about that wig life or the weave life, no shade here. Do you? I'm just saying, make sure that you still are mindful about nurturing the hair that's underneath there. Tip number three, piggybacking on tip number two, make sure that you are caring for both your hair and your scalp. A lot of times people get confused and they like, well, I put grease on my hair and all of the things. Let's get clear about this. Your scalp, you want to make sure that you're keeping it clean. So that's going to require you to properly and thoroughly shampoo your hair on a regular basis. Now, when I'm encouraging you to care for your hair as you're growing it back, I'm talking about your moisture levels. Everybody's hair is going to be different. The porosity will be different. It's going to need different things to survive and to thrive. So you know your hair. If you don't know your hair, you need to get in somebody's chair who can help you learn your hair. But make sure that you are separating the two and caring for both your scalp and your hair. Tip number four is you still got to trim your ends. So, yes, it's painful when you are worrying about growing that hair back to have to sit in the chair and get your hair trimmed. But guess what? It's counterproductive if you don't. I'm going to just be real with y'all. You still need to make sure that you are getting rid of the ends of your hair that have taken a beating from the elements or the products or heat or protective styling or all of the things that we do to our hair, right? You need to make sure that you are still trimming your hair even if you are getting a haircut. I know everybody has one of those stories that they tuck in their back pocket about asking for a trim at the salon and the stylist giving them a haircut and it was so traumatic and cue the violins. I know everybody has one. Often what happens is if you go too long without having your hair trimmed, the necessity for getting the dead hair off is a lot worse than it could be if you did it on a regular basis. So no matter what you have going on with your hair, stay committed to having your ends trimmed and then you won't have to have so much cut off in the long run. Now, I know I don't want to be insensitive. There are some people who are just scissor happy and just chop, 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 chop. I'm sorry you had to experience that. Huge hug, right? But still, get your hair trimmed, y'all, for real. Tip number 5 is don't go bananas with the braids. I know I have been there, I have done it, that braids are a good in between hairstyle when you're looking to not have to fuss with your hair so much or growing it out. It's like clutch for growing it out. But when I say don't go bananas, if you have been rocking a pixie like me and you have given yourself maybe a good 6 to 8 weeks of hair growth and you got a little new growth, and you're going and letting someone braid your hair who is quite capable of catching just about anything. There are some people who can catch about anything. That don't mean you need to go get caught. If you don't have enough hair, don't be trying to attach a long big twist or braid to hair that is this long and anticipate that your hair is going to grow. It's gonna grow, but the likeliness of it coming off in some spots with them braids is high. So don't go bananas with the braids. Don't go bananas with the braids. Find someone who you can communicate with about your edges and how tight something is. If you are getting your hair braided and you feeling this, like your heart beating in your head for days and weeks, your hair is too tight. And guess what? You're going to be rewarded with less hair when you take those braids down. So don't go bananas. I am all for you getting braids if that's your thing, but do it in a safe and respectable way to that hair. Go bananas with the braids. Find someone who you can communicate with about your edges and how tight something is. If you are getting your hair braided and you feeling this, like your heart beating in your head for days and weeks, your hair is too tight. And guess what? You're going to be rewarded with less hair when you take those braids down. So don't go bananas. I am all for you getting braids if that's your thing, but do it in a safe and respectable way to that hair. All right, we are at tip number 6. No brainer, but I feel like in my beauty career, I have said this more than anything I've said to guests about the health of their hair, and it's drink water. So, one thing that I think goes over people's head often is our bodies need water, right? Our organs need water. We just need water to function. So, when we drink water, God has designed our bodies in such a way that when we drink water, the water that we drink is going to be distributed into the areas that need it most. So our hearts need water and our lungs and all of these things that are like keeping us alive, they need water to properly function. So because God is so dope like that, he's going to take the water and feed those things in our bodies that are keeping us alive. If you're not drinking enough water, your hair is going to suffer because the little bit of water that you are taking in is going to keeping you alive. I think that's important. So up your water, stay consistent. Put you some lemon in there. I ain't a fan of them little Kool-Aid packages and all of that. If you feel like you got to do that, then do that. But make sure that you are staying hydrated on a daily basis. This ain't a last week I drank a whole 8-ounce bottle. Consistently hydrate your body if you're looking to grow out that summer cut. And our final tip is your diet and supplements play a major part in the health and growth of your hair. So everybody knows about biotin. It is the supplement that helps to fortify and strengthen our hair. So if you are not already taking biotin, if you're looking to grow your hair, then that may be a good source for you. But often we downplay the importance of our diets. Yep, what we put in our mouths, the foods that you eat, make a huge impact on the health and growth of your hair. If you do not have a balanced diet, if you are deficient in some areas, if you eat a whole lot of junk food, if you eat a lot of sugar, you will see these things not only in our weight, but also in our body and in our hair. There are some foods that are just bomb for hair health. Because I love y'all like that, I am going to give you a copy of a free download that I created to help you guys figure out what foods you need on your plate to keep your hair healthy. And you can find that in the description below. So here's a recap of all of the tips that I want y'all being mindful of as you try to grow out your summer cut. Number 1, have your end goal in mind. 3, be kind to both your scalp and your hair. Number 4, you still got to trim your end. Number 5, don't go bananas with the braids. Number 6, drink your water. And number 7, your diet and your supplements. Find the list of the foods that you need for healthier hair in the comment section below, in the description section below. If you're not already following me on Instagram, please follow me. There will also be a link there. Also, if you have not checked out my podcast, you are missing some good weekly tea. It's called Sheer Resilience, and it is the Brown Girl's Guide to Getting Through Life's Hurdles Without Giving Up. So if you need some inspiration and empowerment in your life, find that in the description below also. Until next time, bye.